Can one person uncover the laws of physics and also read ancient hieroglyphs? What if the same person could explain music, language, and even how the human eye works? Does that sound possible to you? Yes, such a person existed. His name was Thomas Young. His story is not just about science, but about the boundlessness of genius. Let's take a look at 10 incredible facts about this strange and brilliant man. And you decide, was he simply a scientist or a kind of miracle? Fact 1, a child prodigy. He loved words before toys. This child, Thomas Young, could read by the age of just 2. He didn't need anyone to help him understand the meaning of words. For him, letters were toys and sentences were games. By the time he was 6, he was already reading Latin texts. While other kids were learning numbers one by one, Thomas was flipping through encyclopedias, trying to understand how the world works. For him, questions like why and how weren't just curiosities. They were the very essence of life. His parents and those around him were amazed by this ability, but Thomas himself considered it completely natural. He simply saw the world differently, more clearly, more deeply. This unusual beginning was the first sign that he would one day leave his mark on the world through knowledge, language, and extraordinary intellect. Fact 2. At 21, he reached the peak of science. Most of us at the age of 21 are still figuring out which directions life is heading. Some are struggling with university exams, others are searching for their first job. But Thomas Young had already become a member of the Royal Society, Britain's most prestigious scientific institution. Yes, this was a place that only accepted the smartest, most influential minds of the time. Getting in was like receiving a ticket into the elite circle of science. And Thomas earned that ticket not through fancy connections or privilege, but through pure intelligence. No show, no ego, just brilliance, patience, and an endless hunger for knowledge. His scientific papers and theories were already attracting attention around the world. And this was only the beginning. For someone to dive so deep at such a young age, to study as if he was racing against time, raises an important question. How well do we truly know our own potential? Fact 3, he unlocked the secret of light. Now close your eyes and imagine this, a dark room with only a single beam of light shining through. How does that light move? Does it travel in a straight line? Or is there a deeper mystery behind it? In the late 18th century, scientists were divided into two camps over the nature of light. Some believed light was made of particles, tiny balls that moved in straight lines. Others thought light behaved like a wave, spreading through space like sound. But then a young scientist stepped forward and ended the debate in a way no one expected. Thomas Young. He conducted the now famous double-slit experiment. In this simple setup, a beam of light passed through two narrow slits and created an interference pattern behind them. Just like ripples when you drop a stone in water. This result meant only one thing: light is a wave. It was such a revolutionary discovery that even giants like Newton struggled to accept it. But Young was right, and he had proven it with stunning precision. His simple but brilliant experiment is still repeated in labs and taught in quantum physics classes today. A small experiment created by a young mind ended up changing the way the entire scientific world understood light. And once again, it proved that sometimes the biggest mysteries begin with the simplest questions. Fact 4. How do we see? Young's theory that revealed the secret of color. You're watching this video on a colorful screen, red, green, blue. But have you ever wondered how the eye actually distinguishes these colors? This question once left scientists completely puzzled. How does the human eye recognize color? How can it tell apart thousands of different shades? It was a mystery until Thomas Young came along and opened the door to the answer. He proposed a bold idea. What if the eye doesn't recognize every color individually, but instead identifies just 3 basic colors and perceives all other colors as combinations of those 3? That thought at the time was incredibly daring. There were no modern microscopes or tools to study the cells of the eye, but with nothing more than experiments and pure reasoning, Thomas Young reached this conclusion: red, green, blue. These 3 colors are actually detected by 3 types of receptor cells in our eyes. Working together, they allow us to see and distinguish millions of different colors. Later, this idea became known as the Young-Helmholtz theory, and it earned a permanent place in the history of science. Today, we use this very principle, not only in how our eyes perceive color, but in TVs, computer monitors, and smartphone screens. In other words, if you're watching this video in color, you partly have Thomas Young's theory to thank. Sometimes the most ordinary things we see hide the greatest miracles. Fact 5, the law of elasticity, the invisible hero. Now look around you. The walls in your room, the columns of a building, bridges, even the chair you're sitting on. How do these things not collapse, break, or fall apart? How much force can they actually withstand? When do they fail? These questions may seem simple, but the answers form the very foundation of modern engineering. And the answer has a name, Young's modulus, yes. This essential concept is named after Thomas Young. He was the first to propose a precise formula for measuring how a material bends, stretches, and how much stress it can endure before breaking. Young's modulus tells us how a material behaves under force. Imagine pulling on a metal rod. Young's modulus helps calculate how much force it can take before it starts to deform. Today, this modulus acts like a compass for engineers. Whether constructing skyscrapers, building runways, or selecting materials for spacecraft, Young's discovery is there at every step. And here's the strange part. Thomas Young explained this concept in just a few sentences. Yet those sentences now help secure structures worth billions of dollars around the world. Think about it. People often admire architects when they see a tall, beautiful building. But few remember that the reason that building stands at all is because of a formula written 2 centuries ago by a quiet, brilliant scientist. His name may go unnoticed, but his impact is everywhere. Young's modulus. Fact 6. One of the first to read hieroglyphs, the Rosetta Stone and Thomas Young. Long ago in ancient Egypt, people recorded their history using mysterious symbols. These symbols, hieroglyphs, were like a secret language, and for thousands of years no one could fully read or understand them. But in 1799, French soldiers discovered a stone, the Rosetta Stone. On its surface were 3 types of writing: Greek, Demotic, an ancient Egyptian script, and most importantly, Egyptian hieroglyphs. This stone could be the key to unlocking the secret of hieroglyphs, but to read it required enormous intelligence and patience. One of the first people to take on this challenge was Thomas Young. Thanks to his knowledge of many languages and his sharp intellect, he began to uncover the meaning hidden in the stone. Young discovered that hieroglyphs weren't just pictures, they were also phonetic symbols representing actual sounds. This breakthrough was a major leap forward in decoding the ancient script. Later, his work helped Jean-François Champollion fully solve the mystery of the hieroglyphic language. But it was Young's early contributions that laid the foundation for that success. Thomas Young wasn't just a pioneer in physics and optics. He also played a leading role in unlocking the secrets of ancient civilizations. To this day, he remains one of the first minds to begin breaking down the wall of mystery surrounding hieroglyphs. And what about you? What kind of intelligence and patience do you think it takes to unlock the secrets of a language lost for centuries? Let us know in the comments. Fact 7. The silent hero. Bright light, quiet night. Throughout history, we hear many great names. Some shine brightly like stars, dazzling everyone with their fame, while others quietly illuminate the background. Thomas Young was one of those silent heroes. The deep marks he left on science are often hidden in the shadows of others. For example, the Young-Laplace law, which explains surface tension, was actually his discovery, yet people usually remember only Laplace. Young never sought fame or attention. He never competed to be in the spotlight. He simply wanted to find the truth and illuminate the dark corners of science. This silent heroism is invisible, but powerful enough to change the world. Because sometimes the strongest impact comes with the calmest and most measured steps. You don't always need to be a shining star to do great things. Sometimes just shining light is enough. He quietly, steadily, but with determination and belief, brought light into the depths of science. And that light still burns today. Who do you think are the silent heroes in your life? Why do their efforts often stay hidden? Share your thoughts in the comments. Fact 8. He explained astigmatism, unveiling the dark secret of our eyes. Have you ever wondered why sometimes your vision gets blurry? Or why you can see far away clearly, but close objects appear fuzzy? This is a common eye condition called astigmatism. But do you know how and when this mystery was first understood? In 1801, Thomas Young, inspired by his own eyes, began investigating this problem. He discovered that the cornea, the front part of the eye, isn't perfectly round like a sphere, but slightly irregular and oval-shaped. This causes light to focus improperly inside the eye, resulting in blurry vision. Young was the first scientist to give an accurate explanation of this. He didn't stop at theory, he also worked to measure this unique feature of the eye. This discovery became the foundation of modern optics and eye treatments. Today, millions owe their understanding and treatment of astigmatism to Thomas Young's work. He didn't just study distant stars, he uncovered the small but life-changing secrets inside our very own eyes. His discovery brought clarity to millions, both in meaning and in sight. Fact 9. Genius of music and language. A scientist exploring the soul in speech. Thomas Young left his mark not only in physics and optics, but also in music and linguistics. He believed that language and music share the same root in the human brain. Both are made up of rhythms, harmonies, and waves. That's why he began studying the rules of both language and music. Young understood that musical notes and melodies spread like waves and tried to explain the physical nature of musical tones. He explored how harmony and rhythm in music affect human emotions. In linguistics, Young studied the common roots of Indo-European languages and uncovered connections between them. He also aimed to create a universal phonetic alphabet, a system to write sounds used across all languages. By combining musical rhythms with the sound harmonies of language, he sought to touch the deepest layers of the human soul and mind. Thus, Young's scientific interests didn't only cover the physical world, but also embraced the most subtle and spiritual parts of human nature. What do you think? How are music and language connected? Does music speak to you like language does? Fact 10. The last universal scientist. Perhaps the best way to describe Thomas Young's life is with these words: the last universal scientist. This is more than just a title. It marks the end of an era. Young was one of the last people who could master many fields of science at a professional level. He was the final spark of a time when philosophers and scientists ruled across all disciplines: physics, optics, engineering, medicine, linguistics, music, and history. Today, these are separate fields specialized by different experts. But Thomas Young made discoveries, left deep marks, and laid foundations in all of them alone. Today, while many of us struggle even in one field, Young managed to combine dozens in a single lifetime. He was not just a scientist, he was a symbol of humanity's quest to expand the boundaries of knowledge. That's why historians call him the last universal scientist. After him, science grew so vast and complex that no one person could master it all anymore. Thomas Young represents an era of intellect, patience, humility, and endless curiosity. His name may often be forgotten, but his discoveries still look into our eyes, stand beneath the bridges we cross, glow on our phone screens, and live in the rhythms of the music we love. Sometimes the brightest stars burn quietly. Thomas Young was one of those silent but unextinguishable stars. Talking about Thomas Young is not just telling the story of a scientist. It's telling the story of an era, a mind, a spirit. He understood physics, grasped language, touched music, and unlocked the secrets of history. Yet many still have never heard his name. If you were inspired by the story of this silent genius, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel so we can bring more forgotten geniuses to light together. Tell us in the comments, do you think people who succeed in many fields are born that way, or do they develop over time? Let's not forget the silent heroes. They quietly guide us.